GetLuna.dev. They're helping sales teams and digital agencies send emails. They're doing 24,500 a month right now in revenue, up from 1,000 a month a year ago. So growing nicely. 350,000 pre-seed round at a 6 million valuation back in 2022, targeting a 2 million round now at maybe a 12 million valuation. He'll see what he can do, but he's got 163 customers paying for this tool at about $140 per month with a team of 3. So scaling nicely, taking advantage of the AI trend. The trick is, can they crack email and email reply rates, which he believes they generate an industry average above market response for right now, which is 4.57%. We'll see what happens. Hey folks, my guest today is Steven Nellemans. He's raised 20 million bucks for his startups and built a 70 million startup at 19 that became one of the fastest growing Dutch tech startups. He's now working on Luna, building the best salesperson that anyone can hire. It's not just human, it's an AI. Steven, you ready to take us to the top?
Sure am.
Okay, my audience is always skeptical about AI sales tools because they hate all the spam they get in their inbox every day. So help break through that.
Yeah, yeah, that's an interesting thing that you say that, because that's also one of the reasons that we actually jumped on this. Because of course we get a lot of emails as well. There are about 300 billion emails sent a day right now, which is way too much, a lot of noise, and that's because people are becoming so desperate that they actually want to connect to someone and find people and find new leads, that they just start spamming on autopilot. And I think AI is the solution to that, because where many of the other companies in the market are, and everybody on social media is focused on, like the party trick, generating an email. AI, and especially generative AI, can do much, much more than that. Because if I were to write the perfect email, send it to you, but it was actually meant for your co-founder or someone else within your team, or maybe a completely different company, then it doesn't really matter, right? So this is the reason that we really started, that we jumped on this as well, because we saw that AI can actually improve the quality so much that you do not have to send 1,000 emails to get a reply, but in the end, maybe 100 or maybe even 10 to get a reply. And that's what we're going for.
So who are your customers today? Is there a specific sector that's using you?
Two sectors, actually. It's digital agencies. That's a very big one. And the other one is SaaS companies. So the digital agencies, because they do not want to hire a sales team, that's too much of an investment for them. It's, of course, a lot of uncertainty in the ROI, because someone needs to take 6 to 9 months in order to become profitable, if they will become profitable. So that's a huge leeway there. And the other one is companies, B2B SaaS companies that have a huge growth potential and growth ambition, and they want to scale up their sales and get in touch with the right people. And that's what we're helping them do now.
And Steven, what are these customers paying you per month on average to use Luna?
On average, it's about $139. That's like the average sale price that we have right now. We have a tiered subscription pricing ranging from 100, which is the lowest one, up to 2,500, which is the highest one.
And you price based off a couple of interesting things: credits or monthly emails, 250, 500, 1,000. You also have feature-based upselling, like you don't get autonomous mode unless you're on, plan, X. Which of these are the most effective for you in terms of driving expansion revenue?
Expansion revenue, the most important one to get people to actually convert to being a paying customer is that we have a couple of premium features. We have a free trial, like a freemium model, but premium features that actually helps people to convert to the first stage. And then the second one is a number of emails. And especially since we launched autonomous mode, which we did recently, where you do not have to, we take the human component out of doing sales outreach. That's a very big one as well, because now everybody just stops at tier 3. And then when they run out of credits before the end of the month, they expand to a higher package.
What's the paid feature that most free users say, I have to pay for Luna because I really want this one feature?
The most important thing, it's actually depends a bit per sector. It's both the highly detailed geographical targeting, so that instead of targeting the US, you can actually just target on zip code or city level. And the other one is especially with B2B tech startups that are also fundraising, is to get in touch with VCs that did funding rounds and stuff like that. So we also have timing-based targeting settings, and that's also a very interesting one where people want to upsell in order to use it.
I see. And how many folks are paying for the platform today?
We have 163 customers right now.
Okay, and how many free plan users do you have?
About 1,000. So that's actually a lot.
It's a very good
And
conversion rate.
those are weekly active users currently. So they're not like downloads or signups or something like that. I think we have over 10K signups, but we have like 1,000 weekly active users. And the thing is, we also did a bit of like the Dropbox PLG model where you get 25 free emails per month. But if you invite your colleagues and friends and stuff like that, you get more. And that's also why 37% of our signups come from referrals at this moment.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right, so the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview.
How do you define a weekly active user? They send at least one email?
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so the funnel then there is 10K lifetime signups, 1,600 you retained weekly active, and of the 1,600, 163 of them are actually paying about 140 a month to use the platform.
Exactly. Yeah, that's you got it.
Which yields revenue of about 22,800 per month in MRR. Is that about right?
Yeah, it's 24 and a half right now. So I guess I have one of the numbers outdated, but yeah,
that's great. Well, congrats on the growth. Where were you exactly 1 year ago in terms of MRR, so we can calculate growth rate?
Let's say about 1,000. But like 6 months ago, we were also at 1,000. Like the thing is with this market, because there's also obviously it's a crowded market. We spent the entire first year focusing on product market fit, interviewing hundreds of users. We're averaging about 5 user interviews per week since we launched, and we just keep that going because that feedback is very valuable. So only in January this year, we switched to growth. So also in January 23, we were still at about $1,000 MRR. And since then, we switched focus. We moved on towards growth, started utilizing our own product because it was good enough to actually start selling for us. And hence we found product market fit, because then it means that it would also be good enough for our users. And that's why we've been growing 50% month over month.
That's wonderful. Okay, now have you bootstrapped today or have you raised capital?
We raised a bit of capital. Yeah, so we are profitable right now, but we raised a small angel round pre-launch. So before we started coding, because we wanted to focus, we actually wanted to buy ourselves. Bless you. We wanted to buy ourselves the time to do that market research and to do those user interviews.
So when was that? What year did you close the pre-seed round?
That was January 22.
2022. Okay, and how much was that for?
That was 350K.
Looking back now, do you go, man, I wish I would have kept that equity?
No, not at all. not at all. Like the thing is, I love bootstrap companies. I've done bootstrap companies as well, and it's cool because you're in full control and stuff like that. But in all honesty, for our market, we just need the speed. And if we were to do everything on margins, like gross margins and stuff like that, and expanding the team based on our cash flow, then we would not be fast enough. So we are going to prepare our next funding round as well. Well, because all of our competitors are doing it as well, but also because we know that we can actually, we're not fundraising for the sake of fundraising, but we're fundraising because we know that if we can invest X in like people in anything you can think of that utilizes growth, that we can go much faster.
Steven, most pre-seed rounds, you're selling 20-25% of the company. Is that about what you sold?
No, we did it on 6 million pre-money valuation.
Okay,
so that's,
got it.
Yeah,
and you're targeting a new round now. How much are you looking to raise?
We're thinking about 2 million, like 1.5, 2 million, something like that. Depends a bit on the funding climate as well, because I hear a lot of horror stories about investors not wanting to invest anymore. So depends a bit on how that is and what they think of our traction so far. I think we're doing pretty well in comparison to our competitors because they have a hard time getting off the ground. Also because it's so crowded, so you actually need to have a competitive edge there to actually start growing. And we found that, and that's what we're doubling down upon right now.
What valuation are you targeting, Steven?
That's also very dependent on the market. Like it, yeah. I think we'd love to double the valuation since we launched, but it was also another funding climate in 2022 than it is right now. So it's very hard to say.
So maybe target 12 million and see what happens.
Exactly. I think we're going to start from there.
How many folks are full-time on the team today?
Just as 3 co-founders. So we started a company with 3, 1 CTO, 1 chief growth, and me. And we're still with the 3 of us.
Okay, and I guess you mentioned like competitors. Who would you say is the biggest competitor in your space?
Well, there are a lot of companies working on the same technology, but I think the biggest competitor for us would be Apollo, actually, Apollo.io, which is a very interesting one because they're a partner as well. So they're targeting another segment. But if you take a look at the proposition that we're selling right now, that we're putting in the market, which is an all-in-one solution, and not just like I said, the party trick of generating a sales email, but also finding the right leads, scraping the internet, all kinds of different sources of information to write proper emails, but also generating data, right? If I can write a standardized template and reach out to you, or I can see in our database of all the emails that we've already sent, like Nathan has these kind of demographics and stuff like that. And based on classification and prior data, say, well, he's a very busy guy. I need to be straight to the point. I need to use like 100 words max and then like use a lot of white space and stuff like that, which is built for you. Then
so Steven, just to pause for a second, how do you get people to believe the story that you have an edge over Apollo when you're 3 people and they're 926 people?
That's for now because we're they're very big. They have a lot of people and they have a huge market share right now. And the thing is, only speed is going to make us a true competitor for them. So if we're doing 24.5 right now, if we in 6 months like do 30 or 35, then we're never going to win. So we really need to crank up our game and get our market share. And we have a superior product right now, but having a superior product is nothing if nobody knows about it. And that's the thing that we're going to be focusing on for the next couple of years. So
got it. Talk to me a little bit about your background. When you were 19, you mentioned you had a really fast growing startup. You quoted a 70 million number. What was that 70 million number? Was that a valuation?
Valuation at nowadays. So it was about 8 years ago that I founded the company together with a couple of co-founders. It was a B2B car sharing company, something completely different. But then the company was named one of the fastest growing Dutch tech startups for a couple of years in a row. We closed almost all the big employers in the Netherlands as our customers and really got that network effect going. And that was pretty cool. So I took a step back a couple of years ago. They now merged with the market leader in the Netherlands, and like the total company has a big valuation. They're the Dutch market leader right now in B2B, or like in car sharing in general.
I mean, what does that mean? I mean, so though when I read that in your bio, people might go, wow, that's like super impressive. But what you just told me is at the peak, it was a 70 million valuation, which is on paper. You then left. I assume you didn't leave if it was growing fast and you thought there was a path to really change the world and get super wealthy here. So you left, and then it merged with a competitor, which is maybe an acqui-hire. So I guess you obviously learned a ton, it sounds like, right? But I mean, financially, that wasn't a massive win for you.
That's true. Like I was a young guy. I did not have a lot of experience. My co-founders neither. So we were learning everything on the job. We raised funding as well. We did a couple of funding rounds that were not the best valuations for us at that moment. So like we made a lot of beginner mistakes in that sense. So it grew into a beautiful company, and it's helping. Like it's making, like, basically transferring millions of kilometers a week from gasoline to electric right now, which is making a sustainable and good impact. But yeah, like we build a huge company for the sake of the company, but not necessarily for the sake of us. And that's not necessarily what motivates me. I love to build big companies and highly scalable, and just basically keep on challenging myself. And I think in the end, you will get the rewards for that. But yeah, it's more to say, like, more to show that the growth stage which we are entering right now is something that I've already seen once, and I learned a lot from that. I know a lot of things that I can do better this time to grow even faster, and that's what we're going to be doing with Luna.
Yep, no, that makes a lot of sense. So 3 on the team today. You're obviously trying to hire fast here. Talk to me about stickiness. What's churn look like today?
Churn is a challenge for us, so to say. So it's about 15% monthly. So that is a lot. We came from 38%, so that's it's already a huge improvement. I think the most important thing for us is
Sorry, Stephen, just to be clear. So 15% dollar churn per month right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll churn your whole user base or your whole dollar base in 7 months, and you're working on trying to get that down.
Exactly. So we're growing our monthly revenue. Like the total monthly revenue is growing 50% month over month. If we could lower our churn from 15 to 5%, then we could easily increase that 50% already. So that's what we're working on right now. And the most important thing is and will always be for people to get results, and we're getting there right now. So we have, I think, well, from everything I've seen published, we have leading response rates, hit rates as we call them. So positive replies.
What's the response rate?
It's for all of our users, in like on average, it's 4.57%. So that's
4.6, 4.57%.
Exactly. Yeah. That's for all our users on average. For our personal accounts, because we're continuously using Luna to scale our company, but also improve the product, it's 9.3%. So we're really we're really starting to find the hooks on how to nail cold email outreach. And we also know that the more we start talking about these numbers, the more people are going to stick to the product, because they know that the first email is not going to get a response, but if they send out 100, then they're going to get enough. And that's the main challenge that we have right now. And that's
do you consider
something that we're solving.
Reply a response?
We consider it a response, but not a positive response. So we're doing sentiment analysis on incoming responses as well. But unsubscribe, stop spamming, stuff like that is what stop spamming we do not necessarily get, because the emails seem authentic, right? We write the emails as you as a user would have done yourselves as well. We're not generating a one-size-fits-all email template, but we're really learning from the users, the improvements that they make, and stuff like the stuff that works. So that's we do not get a lot of those emails, but like if it's a hey, I don't work here anymore, or it's an out of office reply or something, it's counted as a reply, but not as a positive reply. And our hit rate, what we call it, our North Star metric, is really that hit rate.
All right, let's wrap up here quick. Famous 5 one-word answers if you can. Number 1, favorite book.
Favorite book for me, for now, that's the Future is Faster Than You Think. That's a very interesting one.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Sorry?
A CEO you're following or studying?
Not one necessarily right now. Really
Number 3,
on,
besides Luna, what's your favorite online tool?
My favorite online tool is Excel. It's not necessarily an online tool, but it's my favorite one by far.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
8 hours.
And situation, Stephen, married, single, kids?
I got a girlfriend, living together.
That's great. Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 27 right now.
27. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Well, everything I know right now in building a company, so I could go faster even than I already did.
Guys, there you have it. GetLuna.dev. They're helping sales teams and digital agencies send emails. They're doing 24,500 a month right now on revenue, up from 1,000 a month a year ago. So growing nicely. 350,000 pre-seed round at a 6 million valuation back in 2022, targeting a 2 million round now at maybe a 12 million valuation. He'll see what he can do, but he's got 163 customers paying for this tool at about $140 per month with a team of 3. So scaling nicely, taking advantage of the AI trend. The trick is, can they crack email and email reply rates, which he believes they generate an industry average above market response for right now, which is 4.57%. We'll see what happens. Stephen, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thanks so much.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company, or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them, and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.